afternoon. This is ICU, Intelligent Conversation Unfiltered. I am Allison. That's Stacy. She actually looks good today. Stacy is seizure active. She has a remarkable seizure disorder, which we can't really pinpoint or determine if it falls into the category of epileptic or non-epileptic seizure. So we kind of generally call it a seizure disorder. We are kind of doing an informal, basically our video podcast here today because we can. And we are going to start our posting consistently now because we can. It has been a very, very heavy 2023, and we can look backwards in moving forward because, again, we can. We have a lot to talk about and a lot to converse on. She looks good. I'm happy that she's doing better. We take it one day at a time. We have a lot of doctors that have finally kind of fallen in line as it relates to her health and well-being. And I will not deny I am tired. It is not an easy task being looked upon or shouldering a lot of things that normally she would do, because Stacy's naturally the caregiver. She is the balance in our family, and our little family pod is 3, and it's me, her, and mom. And when one of us isn't as we need to be, then we all feel it. And of course our animals feel it. And we kind of celebrated, well, not really celebrated, we kind of acknowledged 2 things in the last couple days. Lex is 3 years old, and Layla has now been dead a year, which is, wow, it's a lot. However, on a good note, we're looking forward, and we are able to acknowledge things like our faith is definitely, we've seen things. Haven't we seen things?
Yes.
We've seen things. Things have been...
Just so you know that Lex is my service dog and Layla was her service dog, for those that don't know.
But it's, we have seen things. Things have been strengthened. So what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to try and make it structured but loose, wavy. Yeah, that's it. We're going to make it wavy. So what's going on? Let's look at the news. Okay, so let's take a couple minutes. Population-wise, there are more women than men in the United States. And right off the bat, I will say this. Ladies, we need to stop having men make decisions for us. I don't care what your political beliefs are. We need to vote our interests. I do not want a politician to be the decision maker for us, but we're going to have a politician be our leader for us. I prefer one that is ethical and has character. And I didn't join the military to have the leader of the free world be a criminal. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on. Next topic. Why is it that we have, how many Supreme Court justices? 9?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it of the 9 Supreme Court justices, 6 of them were appointed or nominated by Republicans, and the 6 of them that were appointed or nominated by Republicans have some sort of corruptibility crap going on in their background? Why is that? Can someone give me an answer for that? Anyone? and anyone. I'm being serious. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but I'm like, seriously, if you're going to show off your laundry, can you at least wash it first? I mean, please. Anyone? We should have music in the background, don't you think? See, Lex is whining. Why is Lex whining?
I don't know.
Anyway, so I'm done with my soapbox issues.
Okay.
So what's going on with you? Tell me about you.
I am trying to recover from my seizure.
Come here, baby.
Just got out of the hospital not too long ago. I had a seizure a couple days ago, so still trying to recover. It's been a long road, but I feel I've had a good couple of days. Women, we have to advocate for ourselves. You know, unfortunately, had we not, meaning us two, had we not pushed for getting answers and pushed the doctors and been annoying per se.
Yeah, I was annoying.
We wouldn't have gotten where we are today. So I just think that us women across the board, whether it's getting the right prenatal, whether it's getting the right medical care of any sort.
Even medicine dosage.
Correct. It's just, we have to fight for ourselves. And look at the African American women, the percentage is so high for them to have miscarriages and for them to have pregnancy issues from the time that they're pregnant all the way until they give birth. It's just, it's a problem. And men doctors in general do not listen to us. We have to shout, we have to scream, and we have to...
Oh, no, you can't do that because they put that in the bracket of hysterics.
Oh.
So we can't shout and scream. And
well, when you do, then we get, our charts get red carded because that's what they try to do to me.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, though, and I feel sorry, and I feel so that thinking on it, had I not had Allison be my advocate, I wouldn't be here today. So for all those people that don't have advocates, I don't know what they do. I mean, I think everybody should have an advocate. And when we get the money and we start getting money in, I want to start something to have an advocate. And if you have the means to start a group that you can, sit with somebody that is sick or an elderly that needs an advocate, please do, because they need advocates. Because who can speak up for them when I don't know how many doctors have come in when I am just not lucid.
Okay, I understand what you mean.
And try to talk to me.
Yeah, and when you're unconscious when you're post-lictal.
Yeah,
and may I explain?
Hold on, and try to talk to me. And
when you're not coherent.
When I'm not coherent.
Right.
And the only reason why I know that is because when I look back on my records, because I ask for my records
all the time,
and they say it in the soap notes. This 48-year-old woman was pleasant. We had a good conversation. What conversation? I don't remember you talking to me.
Exactly.
So she has to talk to them, and she has to get all the information, and she has to, fight back for me and say, or push back and say, well, no, wait a minute. What medication are you trying to give her? Yeah. What medication are you trying to put her on?
Right.
So, and for those elderly people that are not understanding, when they come in and they're talking at them and blah blah blah, and they talk so fast and then they leave.
But
and then the elderly people are like, okay, I'm confused.
But it's not just
the elderly people. It's regular, our age and
it's just people that are incapacitated.
Just, right.
Because what I wanted to say before I forgot, and it's not to interrupt you and not to interrupt your trend of thought. So hang on to your trend of thought. When going back a bit, when she mentioned when we get money, what she means is when we get to a place where we can allocate a certain portion of money that we're earning, is to set up some sort of program foundation source that we can actually train certain people to become medical advocates for people that actually need it, especially in the seizure disorder arena.
Or not even just seizure.
The medical arena, especially as it relates to women, because what we have noticed is
not even just women, but men.
Well, we'll start with what we know right now.
Right.
Because I'll give you an example, and this has nothing to do. It's not a HIPAA infringement or anything, but
what we've noticed is women are,
for example,
are treated differently than men.
When Stacy had an episode, and I call it an episode because it's easier to say it that way, and it doesn't reduce the significance or the intensity of it. But what happened was Stacy had a dramatic seizure episode. Now, where we live in an area that we are close to 2 counties, and I called 911 from my mobile phone, and it's the most convenient. We do have a landline, and as I said, it's the most convenient. So I called it from my mobile phone, and it always defaults to the other county that we don't live in. So they always have to transfer us to the county that we live in. And I give them the ingredients of what's going on, who it is affecting, what we need. So they send the ambulance, and it usually takes them 6 minutes to get to the house. They've been to the house 13 times now since we have lived here, and we've lived here just over a year. And we have had, Stacy's been in the hospital every month. Unfortunately, she has had to go to the hospital for a seizure activity every month for the last 15 months. Knock on wood, for the last few days, few weeks or so, she has been stable. So they've come to the house, and I've spoken to dispatch. A couple times I've had to do CPR because of her irregular breathing. The fact that I've had to use the to speak about the circumstances the way that I am. This has been going on for progressively for the last 3 years. The problem that I've seen within the medical establishment as it reflects to how women are treated, I have seen most of Stacy's seizures, about 98% of her seizure activity. The other 2%, I will say, have been regulated to what has happened when she's being transported by emergency services and when she's in the emergency department. Now, when she is being transported, there are certain times that they will say that she is awake and alert. Well, she can appear that way while still being in what's called a post-ictal state. Now, when she's in that particular state, she appears, sounds, and behaves as if she's alert. She has no memory of when she's in that state or that she has spoken to certain people. And sometimes she does. Now, what we have discovered during that time is that, believe it or not, based on genetics, there's certain things, certain medicines, certain medical procedures that will not work on her because of her genetics. Now, I have realized, because of my innate interest in her well-being and getting her well, how medicine is truly a practice. It really is a practice, because they are always forever learning. My function as her advocate is that what they're doing as a practice for her is not to harm her in any way, because if they go about this practice the wrong way, she can die. And this has happened 5 times to date. And why are you snipping at me, puppy? Why don't you go downstairs? That's Lex. Are you okay?
Yeah. So what's your point? What are you trying to
what I'm trying to get to is, if they come in and they're talking to her, even they themselves, after they've gone to school and they've been these neurologists, they have been the specialist and taught to be the specialist that they are, they themselves don't recognize when she is in a post-ictal state. So when they are writing down in their narratives, because they dictate what they're saying, because they don't have enough time to sit there and type the text out, they have to speak it, they dictate it, and they sit there and they say, 48-year-old white female that they spoke to was a wonderful person to speak, because they don't recognize that she has had a seizure and that she is in a post-ictal state because of that, because they have told their nurses to give her Ativan, which makes her drowsy, which calms down the episodes that she's having through her body. So which tells me that they've spent so much time being taught, trained, and practiced to treat the textbook and not the patient. And as medical advocates, that's what makes us uniquely qualified to pay attention when the patient is unable to protect themselves by being alert and being aware. That's the point I was trying to get to. And I know it took a while to get to it, but the medical institution is so busy.
That's why I have to tell her short version sometimes.
I know, but what saddens me is they have so many neurologists, and they all work differently. And they all work differently because they all have different motivations, I feel. Because what's interesting is we have gone to a number of them, and we've gone back to a number of them. And this time that we have returned to a number of them, we are kind of debating whether or not, if it's because of those little, what do you call them? Surveys. We are wondering if it's those surveys they send out that they want you to complete, if the mouth on her face that she has written out and the commentary that she has written down, if that is the reason why the care that she's now receiving is contributing I look at it this way. What she's having.
Don't send me a survey if you don't want to know the truth, because I deserve the care.
You deserve the very best care.
Correct. And if you're going to come into the room as a doctor, don't come into the room and try to talk to me, and don't talk at me, and don't talk to me like I'm stupid, and don't look at your phone like I'm wasting your time, and tell me that, well, maybe in 15 years we'll have an answer for you, and then walk out of the room. Or, tell me that, I don't have an answer for you, and I don't know what to tell you, and I'm not going to do anything else for you because you're wasting my time. So when you send me a survey, I'm going to tell you that your neurology team is a crap, and your neurology doctors have the worst bedside manner and think that they're, have their heads up their ass. Yes, I said ass. And they need a talking to, and you need a whole neurology team.
And when I asked the question, my question, I remember I asked 3 questions. My first question was, is it possible that she can have both epilepsy and non-epileptic seizures? And it took them forever to say yes. And I also asked, is it possible that her having epilepsy and non-epilepsy, is it possible that they can be going back and forth?
Oh, and let's not forget that I had an EEG, and the doctor came in and he said, and I quote, her EEG lit up, her frontal lobe lit up like a Christmas tree. And then he left without explaining anything. And then the report, you cannot find it.
Oh, it disappeared?
It disappeared. It's like, you can't find it. We can't get it. The video is disappeared. It's like it just... we have had... The doctors can't find... I mean, it's like totally disappeared.
It's the only report in the entire system of the process that's ever disappeared in any of the times that we've been in a hospital. It's the only one.
All the other ones you can find, all the other ones you can get, but that one.
And I love, and my third question was, why is it then, if you say that she is, the seizures that you see, if all you're seeing is non-epileptic seizures, why is it then that you keep having her do the EEGs and you keep her on medicine if you say that all she's having is non-epileptic seizures?
Oh my God.
That's our dog. That's my mom's dog trying to attack my cat. So,
but the point is that and then they keep saying that I probably have both. So they won't commit to either or, but then they're like, well, it's good that you have.
So they keep playing a guessing game.
But then they're like, well, it's good that you have an appointment with Shands. I think that's a really good idea. So they're not committing, but they think that I have both, and it's just a shit show with them because they don't want to commit. Because I think they know. Well, because I think that they made a mistake. And they don't want to commit to it that they made a mistake.
Oh, so they just want somebody else to catch the mistake to get them off the hook.
Yeah. So our whole point is women as a whole need to, number one, they need to have an advocate. And I think everybody out there needs to have an advocate.
And don't stop pushing for an answer.
Don't just rely on doctors to have your back. You need to push forward and look for answers.
A complete answer.
And do your due diligence. I can't say that word.
Due diligence.
Yes. Do your part and look for answers yourself and let them do their part so that you could come together, because you can say, well, you know what, doctor, I did my part. I did what I needed to do. Now it's your turn to come and do your part. And I wasn't lazy on my part. And then, so they know that you're serious about, look, I need to find answers. I'm not trying to just be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be at the hospital. I'm not joking around. I need to find answers. And when they realize that, this is what we weren't playing around.
Well,
and I think that when you have that, and then if you don't have the support, around you, because I know a lot of people don't have the family support or the friend support, or they don't have any, a lot of people go online and they talk to the people online, or they find groups and that's good to talk to people online and find groups.
We'll have some sign up links in the bottoms also, because one of the things that we're also going to be doing is we're gonna be setting up a community link at the bottom, because we need to have a privacy group.
We won't just talk about epilepsy on here. We will talk about
women's health.
We will talk about
veterans health.
We'll talk about anything. If you go on here and you want to talk about something else,
send us questions.
Send us questions, or send us anything that you want to talk about, and we'll talk about it. And
we'll also talk to you if you want to, because
but we'll talk about anything that you guys want to talk about, and we'll get on here.
Well, not necessarily anything, because there's certain things that some people want to talk about that are not necessarily supposed to be public. But we'll have a conversation, because we want to. There's stuff we want to know, and there's stuff we want to learn.
Right, and there's some things we want to keep it light and keep it funny and keep it, Dundee.
Oh yeah. Well, see what you heard how she just said that, right? On a side note, we have 2 dogs in the house. So Lex, her service dog, is a Catahoula Retriever mix. And see, there he is. There is Lex. So Lex is a Catahoula Retriever mix.
Lex, come on.
Lex is her service dog. Dundee's my mom's dog. We bought
Dundee.
Dundee.
He's sitting on my lap. He thinks he's a lap dog.
Yeah. So Dundee is a miniature Aussie. And Dundee was licking Lex's mouth, which is what the breed does. What? We're talking about just hush. So Dundee was licking Lex's mouth. So that's what distracted Stacy. So because that happened, now all this just happened. Funny. This is the life I have. So I will end everything with this. Very simply put, life is both hard and easy. Life is both simple and difficult. But life is balanced, because whether or not you believe in God or not, we are here because of God. We are. And
or if you're still, whatever you believe in, or if you don't, whichever.
But I will say this. For us, I will say this. Everything that we have had, everything that we have,
sit down,
and everything that we continually
I'll say this.
Our life is good. We're grateful for it.
This is what I've learned.
And we are happy.
I have died.
Back to her.
I have died 3 or 4 times. I've been that close. My thing is, live in the now.
Yes.
Live today.
Be grateful.
Don't live.
Be grateful. There's
in
something.
The past.
Even if you're in a cardboard box,
live for today.
You have something to be grateful for.
Live to be grateful. Live for today.
Yes.
If you wake up, be glad that you woke up.
Yep. You won the lottery because you woke up. Because there are others that will not. And
be grateful for what you have.
You can't bounce back from that. Anyone that bounces back from death, only one person has done that, and we actually nailed him to a cross.
And if you have a penny, be grateful that you have that penny, because that's a penny that you didn't have. So be grateful.
Yes.
And be grateful for the people that you have in your life. Be grateful for what you have, and not what you don't have.
Yes.
And we will talk to you later. And if you have something that you want to talk about, let us know.
And do your homework. I said, there are going to be links in the bottom. Whatever you want to talk about, send us a link. Subscribe, sign up, click the link in the bottom. I will get stuff together so that you can actually get our newsletter, and also you can actually get into our community. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tolerating the barking dog.
And Dundee says, and Lex says hi.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. And he's making that noise that says I need to go to the bathroom. So thank you very much. We'll try to keep it as real as possible.
We'll talk to you later.
Take care. Bye.